Great. It's perfect to have you once again in this channel as you watch how to expand your knowledge and understanding of Microsoft Access. This tutorial is specifically meant for you to understand how to deal with queries. And probably you're asking yourself, what is a query? A query is simply a question. And so in the context of Microsoft Access, a query would be used to answer a question perhaps that deals with, I want specific data from a given table. I want to compute some values in some tables. And so those are some of the things that a query is able to do. Of course, there are a number of queries that you need to know. There is a select query for selection of data. We have performing calculations. That is where you are doing aggregate queries. And again, you also have what they call modifying data. That is action queries. And then we have the one which is used to constructing, or rather joining. You have two different tables and you want to put them together. Then you will use a joining query. So if you look at my screen here, we have already created some query here, and this query is used to, it's called student query. Basically, it has been used to pull out some data from the table student. Because if you look at the table student, let's just look at it with you. You can see we have this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. But in the query that we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We've pulled specific data using a query. So how then is a query designed? I would want to take that moment to guide you on how to develop a query. So I'll want to close these ones. Let me close these ones. Then I will we are actually utilizing so much this create tab. While you are here, you would see there is a query here, query wizard, and there is a query design. So let's click on query design, and then you will see there is a pop-up of the tables that we have, or queries. Actually, a query can have more than one query, a combination of other queries. That is now aggregate. In this case, you need to select the query that you want to deal with. So let us click on fees, and then we add. So once we add that, you can see that this fee has already been added here. If what we want in this case is simply a query that will do something on the table fees, probably to just show us the fee payment that has been done by students. So we will close this. We want to modify it. So we can choose the fields that we want to see. Probably we want to see the student ID, student name, and then we would also wish to see the student fee balance, basically. So this is when they are checked, this box here is checked to mean we are going to see what this field contains. We can do some sorting just to arrange data. We may arrange this one probably in a ascending order and leave the rest because all other fields will depend on this one. We would come to the criteria later on, but for now, let us save this query, and we are giving it a name, query balance query, maybe a balance query. So this one is just going to give us a balance, not even the summary, the balance. So there I have my query, and if I go to the query datasheet view, because we only have SQL, we have design view and datasheet view. Ideally, you will use the datasheet view to see what that query is able to do. So when you click on that query, you have realized that we've only picked 3 columns, and that is student ID. We have picked student name and fee balance, and that is exactly what this query is showing us at this point in time. So, and if you are very keen, you realize that this column here, data has been arranged in in ascending order, starting from the smallest one to the largest data in terms of the student ID. So this is how the query looks like. That is basically a select query, but probably would want to modify this query so that the query can be able to do something else. This query can be modified to give us something that is different from what we are seeing. So let me just, as I've called this balance query, I can modify it or choose to close and then start another query. So let me start another different query. This time round, I want just to pick data of students, perhaps whose balance is greater than 50,000 or even less than 2,000 or less than 10,000, depending with the policies of our institution. Let us assume that a student who has paid fees and has a balance of less than 10 would be retained in school, whereas those ones who have huge balances would be sent home. Rather, they will not do the examination in our setup. So I would again go back to create, then we would just click on the query like this. So we have a query here. We will straight away move to the fee, and then we will add. So once we have added, we will close this, and we can save this query and give it a name. Maybe we can call it students to remain, students allowed to do exam. Students allowed to do exam. So we know that it will be a query to come down here. So we have that query. So what we want to check here is that we are going to show the student ID. We are also going, and we would wish to do that again in ascending manner. We want to show the student name. That is student name and the table fee. We want also to show the student fee balance. That is what we are interested with. We're interested in showing this balance of the student. And now we have what we call criteria here. That is where we need to set our the rule. And so we are going to set a rule here that says we want to show balances or balance that is less by 2,000. So let's do that. Is that greater? Balance, not 2,000 but 10,000. So we are going to have 10,000. Yes, that is 10,000. So fees that is less or equal to 10,000. That is the criteria. We want to show balance that is less than or equal to 10,000. So such students will be allowed in school. So in this case, we will again save our query and then try to run the query. We can actually we have some few things here for this query. some menu. We can run the query by clicking on this. Make a table. We can append. To append means we are now agreeing with what is already done. We can have a query that cuts across, and probably I would show you where you have a query that is loading data from two different tables. If time allows, I'll do that. So let me run the query and see. You see here, we have a student called Gurang Ndegwa, the balance of 4,991. We have Liakins Frigid with a balance of 8,189. You can see we have in this query has only loaded students who have balance of less than 10. So these will be the students probably that will be allowed in school. Assuming you are an administrator and you want to see this, probably you didn't want to run a query. So you go back to the form where we had the index form, and then we click on it. And this time round, we are again going to the design view. And then we want to have a command. So this is our command. And in this command, we will want to have this is going to deal with a query. So we have that was a report. This was a form. This was right. Seemingly I am missing it here. It is here. Yes, to run a query under miscellaneous. So we will click on the query that we want to run and select it. Students allowed to do the exam. Probably we need to go next and then just right here students exam eligible. Just say exam eligible. So in terms of their fees, their fee balance is less than a given amount. So when you run this, while you click on this, when our form is in its form view, then you'll have it like that. So these are the students that are going to have or sit for the examination. And probably you can go further and now generate a report for this query. A report for this query. We would want to save it. So let's go to that query. The query is here. And then we come to create. And then we say we want to generate a report for this query. As simple as this, you have the report for the query. So instead of now loading the table, we will simply load this report. So let's save this report and then go back to the main. Okay, yes. We go to the main form, and this time round again to the design view. We can do away with this because we cannot be able to change it. But let's see if we can be able to change it from this end here. Where is it picking its data from? It is embedded here on click, event, procedure. Well, let's do away with it so that we kind of get another command under the design, and then we pick that command and just say miscellaneous, run the query. Instead of running the query, we run what we call we are going to run a report. Okay, so report operations. In this case, this is open a report. Yes, and the report is students allowed to sit for the examinations. We will say allowed to do exam. Allowed to do exam, and we finish like that. And then when you run this your form again in the form view, and then you click on this, now you have that. That's a very simple way. I mean, we have made a query and then we generated a report for that query so that we load the report rather than loading the naked table. That is it. Wonderful. That way we have been able to create a number of queries. You would want to dig deeper. If you have a question, share with us. Enjoy your viewership. Great. Ideally, you can have your query, computing some values. It gives you some calculations. And so I just want to do that very quickly, and I'll have a query of another query on top of what I have. So this is what we are going to do under the query. So we are going to use this time around the query wizard, which will enable us to build the query. And we are doing a very simple query, so we would press OK. Then we want to select from where are we going to get our data. So in this case, I want us to pick data from fee. Then from the fee, the fields that are available here are these ones. So I want to pick the values that are can be computed or calculated. So like the total fee, I would want to have it there. I also want to have fee paid. I also want to look at the fee balance. This time, not per student, but I just want to do a computation of like the entire institution, how much fee has been paid and how much fee has not been paid. Those other, nitty-gritties, you can be able to do that and generate queries for the same. So once I have this, I'll press OK, and look here. You have whether you want details or you want summary. In our case, we just want summary, not detailed. When we say detail is going to give us fee balance, then it will show us the list of the balance that have not been paid, the fee that has been paid, and the total fees. But the substance of this query is to give us the computation of the fees that has been paid, what has not been paid. So we have like 4 functions here. You see there is a field here. Then there are functions that can be applied. Probably want to determine the average fee payment. Let me just check all of them for every minimum, maximum. Let's see. If I check all of them, what is going to happen? So I had the option of just checking because I wanted just the sum. I would have checked the sum. But I want to see the average of total fee. What is the average of the fee paid? What is the average of the fee balance? So I can also say that you count for me the records. And then I say OK. Once I've said OK, I will go to the next and then give my query the name. So I would want to say maybe this is summary of fee payment. Summary of fee. Summary of fee. Maybe we call it fee statement. Fee statement. Statement. And what do you want to do with it? Do you want to open the query? You want to modify the query? Let's open the query. So we have OK there. So you can actually, if you are very keen, you realize that there is one long one single column that is long, and each of these columns has something that is showing, like the average fees total is 67,187. If you remember, we had done that. The minimum fee that has been paid is 67,189. The maximum fee that has been paid is 67,189. The sum of the fees that we have received, in this case, fee paid is 391,442. But the average fee is this, minimum is that, maximum is that, sum of the fees. So this is how you generate a query, and this query is computational. It is doing addition, not just selection. So I believe that you can be able to customize the queries of your choice and be able to return that. So again, you remember how we were able to do the you were able to get a report for this query that you can generate. Once you are on the query, you just go to the report, and then you generate it. If you are not able to do that, just refer to the beginning of the video, that this tutorial, or you can refer to another tutorial that talks about that. And just that way, we have been able to cover issues of queries. And if you have any question, you have any comment, you can share with us through the comment section. Like the video, share the video, and in all, knowledge is power when gotten in time. Great.